India and China are holding the 10th round of co-commander level talks today. The talks are being held on the Chinese side of Moldo border. Yesterday, the Indian and Chinese troops completed their disengagement from the banks of the Pangong Tso Lake in a significant breakthrough in the 9-month-long standoff in eastern Ladakh. After disengagement from both northern and southern banks of Pangong Lake, the two sides are now expected to discuss disengagement from other friction points. The two countries have had a standoff along the LAC, as you know, since May last year. Several rounds of military and diplomatic talks have been held since then. The four-step disengagement process included pulling back armor, artillery and other equipment, now followed by infantry. Around 150 Chinese tanks and nearly 5,000 Chinese People's Liberation Army soldiers have gone back. And for more on this, we are now being joined by our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal. Siddhant, as you know, India and China are set to hold the 10th round of co-commander level talks today, which will be held on the Chinese side of the Moldo border. Personnel meeting point. What can you tell us? What's on the agenda now?
Well, the talks were expected to start at 10 a.m. Indian Standard Time, and I do expect the talks have started. There is, of course, as of now, no confirmation, but we will soon get the confirmation. But by and large, the key focus during these talks will be disengagement at 3 points at Depsang Plain, Hot Spring and Gogra. And of course, to make sure that there is no repetition, we know that the first phase of disengagement and of course, perhaps the most difficult one at the Pangong Lake is over. We know that last week, in fact, earlier this month, the Indian Defence Minister had given all the details in the Indian Parliament about the disengagement plan at the Pangong Lake, and roughly 5,000 to 10,000 Chinese PLA soldiers have left. There were permanent structures which have been destroyed. There were tanks as well which have now left, and it took 2 days for the tanks to leave and go to the rear areas. And now, of course, China also accepted that it suffered casualties in Galwan, which of course is significant given the fact that China for a pretty long time was not accepting that. So clearly this is something very positive. We know that this year India is the chair of the BRICS grouping as well. Yesterday the Indian External Affairs Minister launched the official website of the BRICS, and as part of the BRICS grouping, and if there is a physical summit which will of course take place in India, India will be inviting the Chinese President Xi Jinping, and he of course as part of multilateral commitments will be coming to India for the BRICS summit.
Also, Siddhant, just for some clarity here, how do you assess this? What do you think is now on the cards after the disengagement talks and after the first phase that now has been completed on cards for the India-China relations in future going forward?
Well, it's said that all is well, that ends well, but it is not in this case, because what China has done has left an impact on the relationship, a negative impact on the relationship. It will take pretty much many months or perhaps a year for China to build that confidence, because we know that after the Galwan incident, after India lost 20 of its soldiers, the sentiment here in India has been running high, and it is of course politically damaging as well if someone tries to take any pro-China stand. So it is up to China to take any positive confidence building measure. But largely, if we look at the entire situation, it is for the first time that China has retreated from a certain area in recent past. We know that in South China Sea, China has been engaging in a very negative manner, but it hasn't backed off. So it is kind of a very difficult position for China, which was very keen to show itself as an emerging power, as a world power, and this is something that has halted China's progression towards dominance of Asia. So of course it is damaging for China for making sure that things are normal. China has to take up actions which are positive in nature, unlike what it did last year in 2020, which was of course a year which changed the entire geopolitics of the region and the world.
Yes, absolutely, Siddhant. That's true. Thank you so much for joining us with all those details. We will continue to track the developments here. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.